Hello and welcome to the first match of the Fearless League. We have Tamashi versus Desperate here on the Clown. For anybody who is here and doesn't know, we have very special perk rules. I forgot to switch to the Killer because I'm so good. Basically, in this current first set, there are practically no perks banned. There's only like 3 perks banned because they're literally unusable according to the rules. So, we have survivors bringing literally everything they can against this Clown, meaning this will likely be a very difficult killer set, but we can already see focus for Tamashi here, getting a good start into the chase. Has unfortunately not been able to get a hit just yet, but is, I'm pretty sure, sneaking up on getting to it. Has thrown a questionable bottle, I guess hasn't correctly tracked where the Lava is going. The Lava is going to make that pallet, meaning Clown is still not going to get a hit. He is going to leave the Lava. Dante's here, managing to get a good chase in. Romeo just sprint bursting right through the shack pallet, but having to run to a pink bottle before it, meaning he does not actually make it back towards anything and takes the first hit of the game. Is going to go to the fun bus. We will see in a moment if the fun bus is bugged or not. That window is currently infamously just bugged and doesn't work majority of the time. But he does make a decent bit of distance, does make this loop again. Maybe Focus can get the hit on this loop this time. He has proven himself to be a bit difficult with it against Lava early after all. The first gen has already finished, meaning we can now see he has a couple of coup stacks. It does appear that the bus window is actually working, which is very good for the survivors here. It is honestly a bit scary to play Auto Haven currently because that bus is sometimes just broken and it's a good window to take basically every single time, so you're just taking like a 50-50 as a survivor to see if that window works. Thankfully it does work and we get the first down of the game and are going to get a painters here. Yay. We can maybe have a quick look. Maybe I should have taken that. Like, what kind of perks do we have? We have Head On here. We have a good gen rushing build here with Proof Thyself. We have here the Deliverance, who is actually the first hook, but has actually been shouldered a burden. No. No, okay, no, the thing is yellow. I forgot Spectator's bugged. We got a hit happening that I was not paying attention to. I thought it was Shoulder the Burden because I heard a scream right at the time the undercount. And I saw the yellow hook and I'm like, oh yeah, yellow hook, that is like Shoulder the Burden, right? No, it's just the Spectator bug. Of course it is. Focus, we have sadly missed how Focus has gotten a good first hit against the Nia here. Nia has to slow vault the shack pallet because Dissolution is still active, meaning she makes less distance from this as she usually would. She is going to get hit here because of the 2 coup de grace and the pink bottle, and is going to get downed for the second down of the game. The Clown here actually faring himself decently well considering the fact that the survivors have access to insanely strong perks. We are still surprised that there are so many rather weak killers picked in sets. Like, the strongest killer in 5 planned matches now that we have in this first set is still Wesker, which is, like, we personally expected that everyone is gonna try to play stuff like Nurse in the first set, but no, they did not. Romo here being found again, being hit through the pallet. Unfortunately was a bit too greedy with it, really wanted the pallets done, but no, gets hit through the pallet, is going to considerably decrease his chase time due to that mistake. But maybe is able to jiggy it here. Yep. Is going to make a considerable amount of distance after that at least. So the first hit I guess has been justified. I don't know. Not another word. He is going to get downed here again. He does not have anything that could help him here. We have seen his perks already after all. He is going to get hooked, is going to be on second stage. This might be a pretty decent situation for Focus to be in after all. Romeo is now on death hook. Is unlikely to have the decisive strike as he is not the obsession, so he can be tunneled out. Ryan, there's a message you need to read. I cannot read whatever language that is. At least I have somebody in chat that just should be leaving it. Right, yeah, I guess. Focus here, getting a good double bottle hit on Mansa. Mansa is just going to drop the pallet though and just keep on running. Is going to actually make a decent bit of distance. Is going to make it to another pallet, I believe. I think there was. Yeah, there is another pallet here. Is going to make it, in fact. Focus thinking that Mansa stays on the pallet, but no, Mansa actually legged it and actually managed to get to another pallet thanks to it. But now, yellow bottle, coup de grace, pink bottle. Mansa is not going to make it. However, the last gen does already pop. As I said earlier, there's an insane amount of gens on perks on here that will considerably make it difficult for the killer to actually get a decent result in the early matches. But we do, however, have the benefit now. I do not have my... I have my settings a bit fucked up. He does have to know it, but the survivors do anticipate it, are just going to take the stages out without risking anything, which is going to be the first game of today. It's going to be a 1k6. Honestly, not a bad result, considering the fact that there is deliverance, there is stuff like prove thyself, and we cannot see anything else. Let's see if Desperate's Killer can match this after the intermission. There. Hello. And there we are again for the next match. We now have Desperate here on the killer. Mansa here. We can see a bit of a similar build. We now have Rapid Brutality and Save the Best for Last instead of the earlier Noed and Coup de Grace, which might end up interesting. We did see last match that survivors can have insane gen efficiency when they have access to perks like this. Like having access to Prove Thyself and Better Together and all, not Better Together. I don't know what that is anymore. Friendly Competition, that's the name. Like survivors can just get gens done incredibly quickly, especially when there are these kinds of players, like competitive players who just have really good gen efficiency, at least are supposed to have them. So we will see if this build will actually pay off. I would have personally assumed that Noad would perform better, but we will see. Maybe Mansa can pull something here that we did not expect. Is trying to get a mind game on this pallet here, but this pallet is decently safe. The David did just one. Is winning every single 50-50 here. Is just lagging. Mansa does just have to break the pallet. There is not much else he can do. He is going to try to get the hit relatively quickly here, but once again is just going to have to eat a pallet. We will most likely see a gen or two pop in just a short moment as well. We can see this gen is already high percent. Mansa is looking for the survivor who was working on it, cannot find them, is checking another gen. Once again, is not seeing anybody, or is seeing scratch marks now. They seem to have found the trace of somebody. They have just apparently slow vaulted the window. Are going to just make the pallet. The pink bottle, unfortunately misaimed, is not going to block it off. He is going to just have to eat that pallet. We have some incredibly strong pallets seen here. I do not know why I'm being pinged to lock in by, I believe Silhouette was that player. I guess they're enjoying the stream. We will see now, finally the first hit of the game is going to happen here. We are going to see a decent bit of Rapid Brutality value, but it is not going to make enough of a difference. He is going to make the Shack pallet, is not going to drop it. In fact, the David is here to drop it for him. Is not able to get the flashlight blind though, because he runs into the pink bottle at the very end, interrupting his flashlight angle, is going to get him hit. We now have 2 injured, still not a single down, not any perk to fall back on really. Mansa is in a very, very difficult position here. Why in this posting cans? Haorami makes it to the basement. We're maybe going to just see a Wicked play here. Yes, we are Wicked. He can't unhook himself while he's in the basement, meaning this hook is not going to be easy to keep. The moment the clown has walked a decent distance away from the shack, he's immediately going to unhook himself. Most likely just immediately running out. He also has this decisive strike, meaning this is just not a down that this clown is really able to benefit from, but does at least net him a bit of score. Focus here is going to take a rather quick hit, is not able to get the fast hold in due to the fact that there's a pink bottle. Mansa going back for the unhook, well, self-unhook, is going to try to get the hit on Haorami again, get them down again. But unfortunately, we have already seen there is a decisive strike at hand here, meaning even if he gets the down, it's going to be rather difficult. He decides to leave it. He's aware that Shack is just very difficult to play against. Does manage to find Focus here, still injured though. Focus is not able to get his, what I assume was his sprint burst back in time, is going to get downed, is going to be the second hook of the game. Still a very difficult situation to be in though. We have at least heard 2 gens that are decently high percentage by now. There is another decently high percent gen here right now. Multiple gens are getting close to popping. The killer does not have anything he can really use to stop it. He's going to need to get an incredibly lucky chase here to be able to match Tamashi's earlier performance. We see another gen popping here. Still just an incredibly difficult situation. Multiple gens are just being worked on at the same time, all decently high percent. meaning he cannot ignore a single one of them. The survivor's making usage of the fact that the clown has to get 2 hits in, meaning they're gonna try to waste as much time as possible before the first hit happens by running to the edge map there. Is just going to leg it. He knows that he can just allow to get downed here as long as he gets downed away from the gens. The gens are most likely going to pop here, the next gen. But yep. We now are in a difficult situation. We have matched the fresh hooks and the generators, but he still needs to get a total of 3 hooks, and optimally a fresh hook as well, meaning he can only really do much if he finds Mup here. If he manages to down Muck and get him on a hook, he might be in a decent situation. But no, they're all 3 on the gate, are just going to leave for a 1k5. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. No, 1k4? No, that's bugged. 1k5. That was that game. This means the first set does go to Tamashi here. We will see us in the next set, which is... good question, what is it? My pit message disappeared. Freddy! Thank you, Woomy. We will see ourselves in the Freddy set next. After the intermission again. Yay! And here we are again now on the Freddy set. We can already see on the survivors here, they are already missing 3 whole perks here. After all, Fearless Rules now in set 2. Every single perk they have used before is now banned for both teams, meaning the 3 perks that they had planned to bring were actually brought by Dante's here, not Dante's, but Dante's team here. by by Desperate instead. Meaning they can no longer bring them. Dante's here already off to a weird start, checking lockers, I don't know exactly why. We can see a decently strong build, the kind of build you would expect to see on something such as Singularity. We are going to see Mapkir actually fuck up, is going to take the first hit of the game way sooner than he probably should have. I don't know why he was standing on those stairs for so long, when the Freddy was straight up walking into him. But Dantes decides to leave him, is going to look for a different chase, is going to find Egoist here, and is going to try to chase them. I don't know if these filters are actually good, I guess so, it fits Freddy a bit to be very blue. Always forget, Freddy is always an expert at messing up your filters, so is Sadako, honestly, I always hate it. We are going to see the Shack Ballad here be dropped already. Should be worth it, of course it is worth it, after all. Otherwise it would be in a pretty difficult position. But we'll most likely see a body block going to happen here. Yes, Haorami is here to take the hit. But Freddy is actually allowed to run 2 survivors while he uses his snare. Meaning Dantes just straight up runs through Haorami here. Is going to just get the down. Rather quickly, honestly, for Freddy, considering what the survivors have allowed. First down of the game. We see Freddy instantly can see a gen being worked on, the survivor not managing to get away time. Focus not realizing that Dantes is walking around the building, is going to get hit immediately. We can see pop action, Call of Brine action, eruption action, all happening here. All incredibly strong perks. This might actually be a set compared to the last set where we saw the clowns really struggling. This might actually just be a set where the killer might actually be able to 4K. But we can hear here, we can hear a boon. Because yes, in fact, due to the way these rules work, all perks are basically allowed at this, and so we can see perks just as a boon. It is most likely going to be perks such as Circle of Healing, Dark Fury, Exponential. It's going to be incredibly strong for the survivors to loot the main building if that is actually Dark Fury. I believe it is, at least. We can see a quick unhook happening here. Dantes, however, decides to go after the Michaela. After all, he knows there is no decisive strike in play here. After all, there was a decisive strike in set 1. He has absolutely no fear of just tunneling out the survivor. However, we can see he actually decides to leave the chase, is going to go after Focus instead, trying to slow down that gen. Oh, that is not Focus, my mistake, that was a Jake. I cannot tell Jakes and Aces apart apparently. Dantes here is in an incredibly good position. He has multiple gens with Eruption applied, Call of Brine applied, Pop applied. Well, not Pop applied, but you know. The moment we see the down happening here, which we do now, the survivors are going to lose a significant amount of gen pressure. They are also going to have to heal up. They're all 3 injured and 1 person is down. They need to desperately reset themselves, which shouldn't be that difficult to do if that was in fact a Circle of Healing. Apparently it was not. I don't know what that boon is. What is that boon? What do we have? Oh, yeah. Thank you, Wumi. They can't hear you. It is Dark Fury and Circle of Healing. No exponential, I suppose. Makes sense. I am surprised none of the survivors haven't tried to go for some kind of cheat strategy. For example, running the exponential with boil over in the main building. That is incredibly annoying for killers to deal with, especially a killer like Freddy, who does need a decent bit of time to get into a chase and get the down. But no, the survivors are mostly going for the fair fight, I guess. Not going for any cheesy, weird strategies. I would have loved to see a boil over play. Dante's here just patrolling his 3-gen. He has really good gens here to work with after all. He wants to let those regress for as long as possible. Not let anything happen to them. Just, we can see, faking the teleport to the main building, causing Michaela to get a skill check. I miss the skill check, of course. We love eternal skill checks. Haorami here being found on the water tower is going to get chased. The Jake has already passed 2nd stage as well. Meaning Dantes is going to try to tunnel out the Jake. However, we do see the further people here play happen here. We see, I think, a swing that is not actually worth it to do. But Michaela here in a difficult situation is now asleep, does not have anything to work with, I believe. Does not have balanced landing, even though I did not hear a scream, so I was confused for a moment. Is going to slow fall that, unless she has 55. Shouldn't have it though. Is going to get down decently quickly here. We can hear another eruption happening. The main building already at least at 4 hits. Also, there's a bit of a funny conversation going on in the chat, just so you know. It is genuinely worth throwing the Shack Pallet at 5 gens if you are confident that you can extend that chase by a decent amount by throwing it. The first down on Michaela was decently fast, but Shack Pallet was honestly worth it here. They did manage to get the down afterwards decently quick enough to warrant the fact that Shack Pallet is just not that important. Shack Pallet is just a chase extension. You want to use it to buy as much time during a chase, and doing that early can often be very beneficial. We can see Dantes here is trying to look for somebody to chase while also trying to defend that hook. Just doesn't want anything to happen to the hook. He does still have a really good 4-gen here with 3 incredibly strong 3-gen perks. The survivors are really going to struggle against this, but we are going to see the double unhook happen here. Dantes figures he is just going to go for both hits. Is not going for the Michaela actually. Strangely enough, decides to go for Haorami instead. Haorami is not going to make it to the pallet. He's going to get downed here. A survivor is just Michaela was just vaulting that multiple times. Okay. Egoist, I don't know what they were doing. They just vaulted the window multiple times, maybe trying to get the killer's attention. Maybe they do want to get tunneled out. Maybe that is the plan. I do not exact. What? Oh. So Wumi has just informed me Michaela was actually there because she had background player and was actually considering to go for the pallet save. Couldn't know that. I don't know everybody's perks, unfortunately. We can see here another chase happening on the main building. Mapkir, being asleep, is going to have a decently difficult time. We can see a heal happening here, but they are all still asleep, meaning they are just going to get downed rather quickly. They forgot about I guess they forgot that Freddy can just teleport, or they were confident that they could chase it. Unfortunately, went very, very badly for them. And is going to give Dantes another down in the middle of his 4-gen here. Still an incredibly difficult situation for Tamashi Tamashi to deal with. I keep forgetting which survivors we're actually talking about. I'm also not exactly sure about the hooks. With 6 hooks, 4 fresh, I believe. Yeah. Yep. I put those all on Tamashi. We can see another chase happening here, very close to the hook, meaning this is very beneficial to Dantes. He's keeping a lookout, trying to see where survivors are going. I guess one survivor was going away from the main building, probably trying to go somewhere where they can reset. Mapkir is going to get the unhook, is going to be able to run this killer a little while. Focus trying to protect it. Unfortunately, they both get hit by the dream pallet. but Dantes actually messes up the hit afterwards, is not able to get the down on Ace there, gets pallet stunned instead, so even though he got that really good dream pallet stun, he did not manage to get anything with it. Finds the Ace here that decided to hide in a locker, he's going to just grab him out of there, and going to hook him once again. After all, there is no decisive strike, nothing to fear. The survivor still painfully trying to get any gens done. Pop, Call of Brine, Eruption, all doing an incredible work on here. You can already see this, like, rather quickly, like, the first set survivors had incredibly strong perks, but now they're already running a bit low on perks. Meanwhile, killers actually have quite a good amount of strong perks, especially because they didn't bring that strong of a perk in the first set. Actually rather cool to see. Dantes here going out, trying to look for a few of the survivors that are healing up, is able to find Egos and Mapke healing up. Unfortunately, heal does happen before he can get the hit, right before he can get the hit, very unfortunately. He is going to try his best out, is going to get the Pokos through the pallet, which should be a kill now, unless Egoist can show that back on player once again for the flashlight save or something. I don't know if she had the flashlight even. But no, does not happen. Dantes manages to get the hook. Makes a strange sign, I guess, to his teammates that he is screen sharing to. Is going to hit that main building generator once again with Pop, with Call of Brine. For a moment I thought he was going to break the pallet. Haorami here not paying great attention, is almost getting hit, was almost going to get hit by Dantes here, just getting sneaked up upon. But no, fortunately they are able to avoid it, are going to be able to buy a little bit more time, maybe enough time for their teammates to finish another generator. Going to see another hit happen here. The main building that, the DDS main building that is generally famous to be rather difficult for M1s to chase, Freddy can actually deal with rather well because he can shut down the fast walls. We can see not a good amount of gen pressure has happened. We're most likely going to see a 4K2 here in set 2 already. I was expecting the 4Ks to take until set 3 or 4, but no, I guess we're going to see it. Focus here being in another chase. Focus is also on Deathhook here. If Dantes can manage to get this town quickly, he is going to be in a rather good position. He keeps using his snares on the Ace, even though he has the yellow bar, meaning he cannot actually be put asleep. I don't know what he is doing, maybe he wants to just have that aura reveal, but Focus is still going to get hit here, unfortunately right before the clock runs out, meaning he is still not asleep. He's going to make that shack window, he's going to keep running the killer, maybe just that little bit far enough for the killer to act, for the survivors to actually drop pop a pallet. He does get down by the fake shack pallet though, and is going to be the next kill of the game if I am not false. I believe, yeah, Michaela and Ace are perfect. Rather good. Like, Dantes here being just incredibly good position, honestly. I don't think there's anything the survivors can still do at this point. They would need to be pulling consecutive really good chases to have any chance at getting the 4K1 here. The hatch, I believe, does not matter. I hope. I believe I added the hatch rules that it only counts when all 5 gens have been popped. I am not exactly 100% sure right now. Yes, I have. Meaning, as long as he manages to down the Michaela here without a gen popping, he will be able to get the 4K2. We can see the Claudette here working the main generator. I guess I got DM'd on Discord by Woomy. I guess Woomy has to go. Yep. We're now down 1 ref, unfortunately. Dantes here just trying to make sure no gen progress gets done. He definitely wants that 4K2, very understandably. It is a very good result for Freddy to get. But is struggling to down the Michaela here. We might actually see this chase just extend just long enough. No egoist is going to take the hit here, is going to get downed. Freddy is going to teleport straight away to the main building generator and is most likely going to be able to just down the Haurami here. Ego is most likely not having Unbreakable. We can quickly check. No, there is no Unbreakable play that is going to happen. We are going to see the 4K2 here unless Haurami can pull off something incredibly well. But very unlikely. They are asleep. They do not have many resources left. They are just likely going to get down here. I do not think they have anything left. They have this one drop pallet. I believe the other pallets in this area are all broken. Yep. One down pallet to work with. Dante's here getting the mind game in and is going to get it down on Haurami. This is now confirmed to be the 4K2. Is staring at the survivor. Why is he staring at the survivor? I do not know. What is he doing? That is... Why? Huh? Well, he has a hook here. Why is he doing this? Was he unsure if that was a death hook? But even then he makes hatch before that, so... Definitely going to check on their voice channel after this, because that was confusing. But yes, he is seeing the Michaela here. Is doing a few questionable things. I might give them a bit of a warning to not do that. Is going to get the Mori here in the end now. This is confirmed 100% to be the 4K2 now. I mean, there was nothing else that could have happened for the survivors here. This is the 4K2 for Deathwood. We will see if Tamashi can match this result. Yep. And now I need to ask him what the fuck that was. Actually, wait. And here we are again now with Tamashi on the killer, Mapke here playing. They do have to meet an incredibly difficult 4K3 win con. However, we can also see some good perks. Crowd control, Fill of the Hunt, and Devour Hope. And if those manage to get cleansed, he still has Pentimento to fall back on. Meaning he is in a decently good position maybe to pull something good here. We will see. But 4K3 is an incredibly difficult win con. He does not have an amazing 4-gen like Desperate did. He does not have the perks to defend such a 4-gen either, even if he would have gotten it. So this is most likely going to go to Desperate, but we will see. Maybe Tamashi has something hidden up there ace here. Maybe Mapke is the legendary frightening man. You only hear of in the stories, you know. Mansa here being the first chase, already showing crowd control, already blocking off two strong pellets here. All the survivors are now asleep, meaning Freddy can start getting in some value from his power. Mansa here faking the pellet, is able to run it for another round. Map even getting stunned by it. Incredibly value from this pellet that Mansa just got out of this. Already a very bad start considering the kind of win con he has to get. I think most likely he's not going to meet at WinCon at all. What are you doing? Okay. Bit of strange things going on here. Romeo here has Calm Spirit. Interesting. Meaning killer can't would usually not be 100% confident if he actually got the hit or not, but we still know because of the aura reveal. We can see Gallows are already getting close to popping. Mapk here does not have anything to really get any regression in whatsoever. We can see the crowd control has already been destroyed, meaning the main building is back to being a decently good spot to run the Freddy. We can see Mansa immediately taking advantage of it, is immediately running to a window, making good use of it. Mapk here going for the Pentimento value, I believe. He does have a decently good situation. The Full of the Hunt, like if the Full of the Hunt would have been cleansed first, he would be in a difficult situation now. But he still has Full of the Hunt active. He's going to have Devour Hope. Crowd Control is actually the best perk that he could have lost there. Well, the least important perk he could have lost there, honestly. Like if Will would have been gotten rid of, then the other totems would have been easier to cleanse, including the Pentimento. If Devour would have been cleansed, he likely wouldn't be able to keep up the pressure in the late game without regression like Desperate did. So crowd control most likely actually being a pretty fine perk to lose here. We are going to see Kamasutra running the killer on the main building for quite a while. The fact that he has lost crowd control already hurting quite a bit. Mapk here trying to defend his gens as well as possible. Is able to find the survivors healing up here, is interrupting them, is maybe going to be able to get a down on them rather quickly. But no, Mansa once again pulling a good chase performance here. Is making a lot of distance here. Is going to make it to another pellet. Is just going to drop it. Is going to win the mind games here. Does get downed, however, though very close for the second down of the game now. But still, Mapk here still in a difficult situation. Devour Hope is not active yet, meaning he still has to hit survivors twice to down them. He does not have any regression whatsoever. The Pentimento is now also gone, meaning, and survivors are aware of it, meaning they're less likely to cleanse another totem. We can see that he teleports right onto the Cheryl. He might be able to get her down decently quick on her. Unfortunately, he gets screwed over by the stairs, is going to get a snare robbed away, meaning Cheryl makes quite a bit of distance. Cheryl dropping down is, I believe, using balance landing, makes quite a good amount of distance. Still a difficult situation. We can see the survivors here healing up under the hook, but still asleep, meaning the killer managed to get the teleport in onto the survivors. They do not have, as a reminder, oh, what? Huh? What kind of play was that by Mansa here? Incredibly weird play happening from both sides. Mansa's strategy was there to stand still to erect a force field, You like new text found out apparently. I have no clue what that was. But is going to get down rather quickly. Does not have decisive right once again. And is actually now going to be the third down, meaning after this the Devour Hope will now be active. Unfortunately, not while in a chase with a healthy survivor, meaning he is going to get the down here most likely. No, does get pallet stunned, but if he does, for whatever reason, run into a survivor that's healthy, he can now just straight up insta down them, meaning he has a lot of a way easier chase. Is getting very well looped here by the ace though. The ace is going to get down here now, I believe. He's not going to make the pallet. Is still going to vault though. No, he does actually very closely make the pallet, but still, he is just... Why did he cancel teleport? I'm pretty sure that's a game lose. Like, Cheryl can just push a gen now if she... Well, we will see the last gen, the main building gen pop here in a moment now, I believe. Meaning this will be the Taikon, meaning Tamashi can no longer win the set. Very fair though, considering Deathwood did have an incredible setup last game. A really good perk with a 4 gen. 4k2 is just really hard to beat on a killer such as Freddy. We can see the survivors here spending time healing up, not aware that the Devour Hope is active, not aware that they're actually exposed and that the next hit will actually be a down. Their map here might actually be able to do something with that, might actually be able to get it down unexpectedly. Still, people, both killers here using snares on survivors that have sleep immunity, don't know what they're thinking still. We might see it down here, but no, the pallet was popped too late. It doesn't make that. Romeo is able to keep on running. He's going to make another pallet. We see another gen pop here. This is the 4th gen, meaning Desperate takes this set. Meaning we're now at 1-1. Unfortunate. The Devour Hope, however, has now been revealed. The survivors are now aware. Wait a moment, we're all exposed. We need to find a totem. But at the same time, they are pretty safe. Because, you know, they have already won the set. We can see the survivors running here. It was the ace going for the unhook. Smart move considering the ace is still injured. Ace does get down very quickly though. Is going to get hooked. Is now going to be the 5th Devour stack unless the survivors can find a totem. They might even want to opt to just let Romeo die on the hook to not allow that to happen. But no, the survivors actually managed to pop the last gen here. But we can now see a bit of Devour value happening here. Mansa gets down to Devour. Is going to get... No? Map? Map, do you want your fancy? No? Map? Map, you have an insta kill. Map. Okay, I guess not. Pretty sure the hook and the Mori would have actually been roughly the same speed, but oh well. We are going to see Romeo here is going to try to take the body block, but still Freddy can just use his snares to walk through the survivor. Map apparently is not aware of that though, is going to just take the down on Romeo here, is going to keep chasing the near, is going to try to get her dead. We will see if he's able to do so. I believe the Shack Pilot is, the Shack Pilot is no longer up. Rainfall manages to jiggy the pallet here, is just going to be able to run the killer for a bit longer, but does eventually get down, is going to get insta-killed by the Devourer here, and last survivor has already escaped, meaning unless the ace manages to crawl to the hatch somehow, this is going to be the 3k10, which is honestly a pretty good result for Freddy on this will set, but unfortunately, the others Freddy is a bit better. That's 3, that's... Well, it's 9 hooks, why not technically? Oh, we see the last Noid. There we go. So yes, this set does go to Desperate. We're now 1-1. We will see us in the next set, which is a Hunter set, which is fun. So, see you then. And then sorry, 2 more minutes of ad, because it's an intermission. I will keep running ads. And here we are again, with now focus on the Huntress. I forgot to change my filters, whoopsie, my mistake. Good enough. We can now already see here the perk bands are now kicking in a lot more. Huntress missing here 1 perk. Here the survivors 2 perks missing, 2 perks missing, 1 perk missing, 2 perks missing. Meaning the survivors are already missing a total of 7 perks. Meaning we are starting to get to the games where the killers have a significantly better advantage just because they just have a lot more perks to choose from. So we will see how that goes. You can see a quick chase has already started here. Another chase has already started, decides to leave Mansa, is just going to chase the Nia instead. Does a very weird camera trick, it actually works. Rainfall actually does fall for it, gets hit through the pallet. Focus tries to get a good long range hit in there, but I think hesitated just a little bit too long. Could have probably thrown it a bit earlier already. Oh, thinks the survivor stayed, but I'm pretty sure that is actually a lucky break. Let's see for a moment. Yes. Rainfall actually, despite getting hit rather quickly here, makes good use of the lucky break and is managed to stealth out of the chase, which is going to buy the survivors a significant amount of time. Focus here does not have anything good to work with here just yet. He is in chase with the Claudette, who is the obsession. Technically not the person they want. They are the wanker, they are the wretched fate. Meaning, technically the longer the obsession is in the game for, the better for her, but does just not have any other options right now, just needs to go for the Claudette. Claudette managing to fake the fast ult here, is going to make the pallet, is going to not drop it, but does get hit right around the corner. Probably looked like quite a horrible hit for her. I guess she did not take it. Didn't look like she took the corner close enough though, sharp enough. Is going to be the first hook of the game. Wretched Fate is now active. We can already see some deadlock value happening here right about now, telling Hunters which gens are high percentage. Is going to take this chance to just reload, break the pallet, and now look for a different survivor. Is going to go for a very brave snipe, does unfortunately not hit it. I would have been very excited if that would have hit. We can now see Focus is now has found someone else, has found Kamasutra, is just going to chase them, has unfortunately missed the first hatchet, does manage to hit the second hatchet. Cheryl is now completely zoned, does also get hit by the second hatchet. The survivors here are now in a rather bad spot, so Tamashi is, I guess, recovering a little bit from their bad earlier set just now, which is very nice to see. Is checking around, making sure nobody stealths for the unlock here. Still a decently unfortunate situation though, because both the Wanker and the Wretched Fate are not going to do much if the Claudette dies early here. But just, even though it is a bit sad for the perk value, it is still objectively the best play. Is able to force the second stage on Mansa here, while having a person slug the entire time. If somebody was trying to go for the unhook, they have wasted a lot of time just watching the Huntress stand around there protecting it. We can see, yes, someone did in fact go for the unhook. The unhook does happen, the survivors are under the hook, I believe, still. No, they have decided to leave it. Mansa now in an incredibly difficult situation. Almost gets sniped here as well. Has at least managed to make it to the shack. Is most likely just going to drop the shack pallet here. Does unfortunately just not drop it quickly enough. Gets sniped over it and is going to get killed here already at 3 gens by the Mori, because we have a Mori allowed. Which I'm pretty sure every killer forgot before. Yes, because there are actually chest perk allowed in this tournament, with some extra caveats. Cut coin is actually not being brought. Cut coin is not allowed in this tournament. Instead you bring in a Mori, because we just felt that it's cool to see a Mori happening. And for the most part it shouldn't affect too much. We can now see the killer is in an incredibly good situation. Is unfortunately not going to get much value out of their Wretched Fate, but does have a kill already, which is just way better than the Wretched Fate value. the obsession not being able to do any gens is better than the obsession doing the gens slower after all. Is going to get it down on Rainfall here. Very good value. Very nice. And we get to hear the lullaby of the hunters throughout this entire thing. Focus here, looking for another chase. Does manage to find a gen at very high percentage, but whoever was on it has left it already. Does not want to take the down for the finish gen. Maybe wouldn't have been able to do it in the first place. Focus here, very focused on protecting this 3 gen. Is in a very comfortable position after all. I believe all 3 gens are regressing. I don't even know if that gen up there is regressing. Is going to chase. Is going to get a nice snipe on the ace here. Is going to get a lot of value out of that. Is going to just completely zone Looney out here. Gets downed. Very nicely done. Very nicely played by Focus here. They are going to go for the hill hook, I believe. They didn't make basement, so yeah, actually go for the hill hook. Going to get incredible value out of this. They can now basically camp us out a little bit while keeping watch on their gens. The survivors need to be incredibly desperate to finish these gens now. We can see the Nia was already on that gen as well. Has to leave it to avoid getting sniped. Very, very unfortunate situation for Desperate here. Desperate, yeah. Tamashi playing. Tamashi is focused on it, yeah. I think I've confused the name this earlier a bit, sorry. I apologize for any inexperience with casting. I haven't done it that regularly yet, and it's been a while as well. And it is not my best performing day here, this appears. I got 2 outed as a blind earlier. Horrible day, honestly. We can see Focus here just getting incredible value. Camping the hook while also getting the snipe on Rainfall on the gen there. Rainfall was falsely assuming they were safe on the gen now. Unfortunately, Focus does not have any of the shafts, meaning Kamasutra is able to vault that pallet. This should be the 4K2 now. I do not think this Nia does not have anything to pick herself up. They do not have anything to unhook. They will just have to take the 4K2 here. Focus here, just trying to make this chase a little bit faster, I guess. X has accepted, yeah, this is definitely a 4K2. Just going to have a bit more of a fun chase instead of a quick chase now. He's going to leave out the high efficiency now, just playing a little bit for fun. Kamasutra here doing very well, making very good use of these pallets. Is going to try to use the fact that Focus has not been playing that safe to maybe make it to the pickup. Unfortunately, is not going to manage it. Is going to get down here, I'm pretty sure. That's not... No! Focus actually misaims the hatchet here. Kamasutra is actually able to get the pickup. Unfortunately, even that is not going to save them. Ace is going to die on the hook. Focus is going to make sure that actually does happen, that the Cheryl is not sneaking around to get the trade in. Second kill of the game for Tamashi here. Keep forgetting to do hook tracking. Wrong way around. The fact that Rainfall got sniped on the gen there from the hill really put Desperate into a very desperate situation. Focus here trying to do the best to spot the survivors while also defending the gen still. Can see some scratch marks, I'm pretty sure, is not going for them. We can still see the hex there being active. Not doing anything though, because there's no obsession. Nia here has tried getting onto the gen, I believe. Is unfortunately not able to actually finish it though, because it has regressed a decent bit. is going to get down here again. We might be able to see Cheryl pop the gen though. No, I believe not. Hyper Focus just hasn't gotten enough value. Cheryl is once again the last person up, is going to have to take another chase. Will we see her pull something strong again, be able to get another pickup, or will we see this actually be the 4K2 now? It does seem like there's nothing she can do. Yes, she does in fact get down. This is going to be the 4K2 for Tamashi here for Focus. Incredibly well played, has gotten some incredibly nice Hunter's hatchet hits in. I always like seeing a Hunter set, because even though Hunter's is a difficult set for the killer, like when you do get good hits in, it's just incredibly satisfying. We're going to just see another Mori here, the second Mori of the game. For the 4K2. If Desperate can match this, we will see after the intermission. Here we are again with the next set. We now have Mansa desperate on the Hunters. They actually have all of their perks allowed. We see some good options here. We see Dead Man Switch and Merciless Storm, both of which can do quite a bit of damage. Brutal Strength just to have a few faster chases. Pre-dropping is pretty normal against Hunters after all. And Thrilling Tremors, last of for the information. On the Survivor side we can see one perk missing, one perk missing, two perk missing, one perk missing, meaning both sides have significantly better amount of perks than we did have in the last game. Unfortunately. This is not working. There we go. We can see a good first hit has happened here on the Egoist. Sorry, I got confused a little. Man's just walking to the pallet here. Unfortunately, it does not work. Egoist is able to get the pallet done. Is just going to break the pallet though. I don't know if Egoist can make it anywhere. No, he is just going to let himself be down in the corner for the first down of the game at a pretty decent speed. Mansa here would have to get a 4K3 here after all. Incredibly difficult win condition to meet again. Like all the killers are actually getting... all the killers that play second today have difficult win conditions to meet. We can see here Thrilling Tremors giving us a bit of information who's on stuff. The Dead Man Switch kicking in, blocking the generator now for a whole 50 seconds. Incredibly strong perk. No Merciless Storm value yet, unfortunately. Oh, Mupk here messing up pretty big. Is just going to vault into the killer. Again, but this time it was a 50-50 at least. Is going to be the second down of the game. So fast that the Dead Man Switch is still active. Is going to go for a bit of an orbital shot on that generator. Unfortunately doesn't hit it. I have never seen an orbital in comp. At Gen, we can see Ace has put it to a pretty high percentage. Unfortunately not high enough for the Merciless Storm, meaning he does not get the Merciless Storm value. Merciless Storm is actually a pretty decent perk on a lot of killers, honestly. Because if you can force the Merciless Storm to happen, it does count as a missed skill check as well as blocking the Gen, meaning it can do quite a bit of damage. And actually quite a few killers can actually use it decently well. A lot of survivors are actually not that used to it as well. It's actually a bit surprising that Merciless Storm is so rarely brought. But partially that's just because a lot of the times you bring perks to handle the good survivors. The good survivors will hit the Merciless Storm generally. Even though it's a good perk, it's just unfortunate. It works better against bad survivors. And you bring perks for good survivors here generally. Unfortunately. Haorami here, however, getting down. Next down of the game. We can see another Dead Man Switch getting active. We see Thrilling Tremors blocking a few gens here. Strangely not marked in white. The usual spectator things, you know, that the Daylight is a great game of goal. Mansa here kicking right into the blast mine, is going to get stunned a little bit. Is getting delayed on the generator break, which does actually allow the unhook to happen. Mansa here, a bit desperate, knowing he needs to get something good here, is throwing a lot of headshots. They do have a very low cooldown. We can see another gen popping here. The survivors only need a single more gen for the Tycon. Meanwhile, the killer is still behind on 9 entire hooks. He's most likely not going to be able to meet a Tycon at a WinCon. Mansa here just trying to get a few fancy hits in. They know they are not going to be able to meet the WinCon that they need if they play it safe. They just have to go for those big hits. Unfortunately, Egoist does manage to turn the corner before that is going to make Mansa miss quite a few headshots. Going to beat up another pallet. Oh, does vault into the killer though, but we can see another gen has popped. This is now the Tycon already for Tamashi here. Tamashi is most likely going to take the set. The killer is still behind. Why did I have 5 fresh hooks on Tamashi? Jesus Christ. That's not possible. The killer is still behind on 8 whole hooks. Hasn't gotten a single kill yet, but is somehow needs to now prevent every single generator, all 4 of those generators. Not a single one would be allowed to pop. However, it does happen. Tamashi is able to pop another gen, meaning they are going to take the set, meaning this is now 2-1, meaning we will... I mean, meaning nothing really. No matter who would have won this, the next set would be the same. Oopsie. I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit tired, honestly. I'm starting to yawn. I should probably just drink an energy drink. We see Ego is getting down tier again, decently quickly. Is going to be the first kill of the game now. Unfortunately, just doesn't make much of a difference. Needs to get way more. I'm incredibly straight away right now. Jesus Christ. We can see the survivor still trying their best to loop the hunters here, but is going to get down here. No, never mind. Mansa tries to get some hatchet value, which allows Mavk to make even more distance. Does not get the trick shot in. We can see the last gen pop in the background. Tamashi has managed to finish all 5 gens, not getting a single merciless proc value, unfortunately. I don't think that was... yeah, I don't think you can that. I think that is a bit too far away. The survivors leaving map behind here. Mansa forgetting you need to wait a moment before an escape actually counts as survivor leaving a trial. This is going to be the 2k7, I believe, for Mansa here. I believe? No, 6. 7. 2k7. Unfortunately not enough to win the set. We will see each other in the next set, the Demogorgon set, set 4. We will see how many perks they have left and see how that goes. If Desperate is able to get the tie for this best of 4, they are not able to win this best of 4 after all. They are now playing for the tie. Tamashi is playing for the win. We will see if they can get the tie or not. I pressed the wrong button. No, please. Hello. Here we are again with the Demogorgon set. We can already see the killer here has 2 perks to work with. At least has the Bamboozle, that's good at least. The Survivors here, 3 perks. The strongest build that we have for this match today. Bardic Inspiration, nothing else. And here we have Self-Care Botany, actually, huge value. Unfortunately, we missed the Survivor, the killer getting the first chase of the game. Actually a double chase, is able to get a quick hit on Egoist here, who I believe is our Bardic Inspiration gamer. Unfortunately, does go for these rocks, does not realize, I guess, that the rocks does not have anything. Mancer here, however, fucks up, does not go for the shred, cannot actually make the down without the shred. So, unfortunately loses that down. Has some weird particle effects going on there as well. I don't know what's going on there. We can see some incredibly goopy demo right now. This demo is just like every once in a while you just see him goop. He's leaving a trail of goop. Don't know what's going on there. Good old spectator bugs. I see I forgot to update the score. Ryan, can you quickly delete the pin and set a new one with updating the Huntress set? Thank you. We can see my Egos, despite the quick first hit, actually handling himself decently well. Actually manages to get a pretty decent chase in for against the Demogorgon. But Tamashi. We can see the first generator of the game popping here. The Demogorgon is in a decent spot still. Survivor's not doing gens as quickly as the previous matches. After all, they are starting to run out of perks to just slam those gens. I've also realized I need to have this enabled. Unfortunately, I can't stream without it. Oopsie. I can, but I didn't want to have it disabled. Yeah, now you need to pin that. Oh, you did. Okay, good. Okay, we can now see Mancer has gotten into the next chase already. He managed to fake the shred into a M1 on Haurami. Does, however, decide to immediately go back for the Anuk. No, never mind. Spots Mapk here on the generator. Tries to shred him, but once again does not charge the shred for long enough. Meaning he does not make the hit. Allows Mapk to run him for a little bit longer before that hit actually does happen. Bit surprised they didn't go for a tunnel out, but I guess maybe one on the way out. We see another gen popping here. Mancer not in the best position here right now. Has got decent chases, but still not fast chases that they actually need. They don't have anything to really fall back on. They have no regression, they have no gen block. Actually, quite a difficult position to be in for them. We can see Mancer here has teleported to a gen, has already started the next chase against Haurami here. He's going to immediately get the Shackpelt Boom. Is going to get hit by the Cracker though. Is not affected by it though. Cracker does just not do that much honestly against a good killer. Is able to zone out that pallet, but unfortunately does not get the shred in. Is going to have to just break it. Force it normally. Is also not able to get that one in. Is going to try to mind game this. But Haurami here does decently well. Is able to waste as much time as possible. Is now going to go to the edge of the map to waste even more time. Get the teammates to do as many gens as humanly possible. We can see 2 more gens popping here. God damn. Mancer here in a very difficult position here. Does not have a 3. Does have a bit of a 3-gen. Not a good 3-gen for a cold house standards, but it is still one. It is one they can work with. There is no balance landing. There are practically no more exhaustion perks allowed at this point anymore. Actually, there is Smash It. Of course, there is Smash It. We can see Mansa here trying to do his best. Going to try to hold this 3-gen maybe. No, not sure. He's trying to get chase the survivors away a little bit while also defending the gens. Does not actually want to commit to a chase naturally, because every single chase that is going to happen at this point is going to be taken away from the hook, which is the last place he would want to be at. At the same time though, this person is not close to dying. It's a very difficult situation here for Mansa. That is the drawback of these rules. You need to be very careful with what kind of builds you bring. You are going to lose a lot of your perks. In this situation, he just does not have any kind of regression to actually hold this kind of 3-gen. I believe originally he was intending to bring Noad. I'm not 100% sure. Haorami here goes next. Second stage is now actually going to be on Death Hook, meaning if the unhook does happen, he might be able to just tunnel them out. Unfortunately, this gen is just too high percentage to actually do so. I don't think there's much Mansa can do here. He can go for this chase, but another survivor is just going to take over the generator for him. Very, very difficult situation for Mansa to be in. Weird mind games happening on the pallet here. Is just going to break it, but I believe Focus is able to make the window here. No, never mind. Is going to have to take the M1 here, but he's just going to keep on running away from the gens, just buy as much time as possible. We can see another gen popping here. The No Way Out, not procced yet, however. Now it is procced. Mansa going for a bit of a sky demo play, but unfortunately overshoots it a little bit. Allows Focus to make a decent bit of distance here, but is eventually just going to get down for the 4th down of the game and the 5th hook stage of the game. Don't know where he went. He's going to just try to take the hook as far away from the gates as possible. He is most likely not going to be able to get another down for this. He's most likely just going to have to accept that he is going to get the 1k7. He's trying to apparently go for a bit more though. He's trying to push his luck maybe. Who knows? No Way Out has now ended, meaning survivors are most likely going to be on the gates now, ready to escape when needed. We can see the unhook happening here on Focus. The other survivor most likely going to be on the gate. They're probably all going to get out here. Egos is able to get the window vault in. Unfortunately, the gate is going to open. The survivors are going to come in for the body block. Mansa was just trying to get a little bit too much there by going for the hook. Is going to get... Oh god, what was that result? 0k5? Oh no, I'm not sure. I have to check. But if Deathwood is now able to recover as... No, if Tamashi will be able to trump this result and take this match, we will see after the intermission again. And here we are again with the last match of today, unless they tie this. We can see again Survivors missing a decent bit of perks. The demo this time, however, does have a decently good build. He does have Grim Embrace and Gift of Pain, as well as Bamboozle as well. Is able to find the Survivors decently quickly. Dante just immediately throwing the Firecracker for some reason. Is not going to get the Window Vault in time. Is going to take a quick first shred of the game. Focus here already in a very good position to get the result he needs. He needs to get at least 6 stages. Oh, that was actually... I didn't even notice that it was Wayne. I thought it was someone else. Wayne just get actually downed here for the first down of the game, happening incredibly quickly. We're going to immediately put them on the Gift of Pain. We're going to see some Grim Embrace value here happening. Very, very good position to start the game with. Very bad for Desperate, however. Desperate has to get at least 7 stages out, one of which has to be a fresh hook. Very, very difficult thing to do, honestly. Especially when having a start that bad. Romeo here is going to drop this pallet, is going to have to drop another pallet. Focus, unfortunately, is not able to make it around the corner. Is not able to get that hit in. We can see Romeo getting a bit of cut loose action, I believe was that, because it was a silent roll. Not too sure right now. He's unfortunately still going to have to take the hit. He's going to take the Window Vault once again. I'm pretty sure that is cut loose because he is silent again. Is, however, not going to make anything now, I believe. I believe this is going to be the down here. The second down of the game, unless he's managing to juke something here. No, he has another pallet, never mind. My mistake. I thought he didn't have that pallet. Is unfortunately not able to get the shred around the corner. Is going to leave Romeo. Is happy with the amount of generators he got from that chase. Is going to go for Rainfall instead here. The Rainfall does not have anything to work with here, however, anymore. The pellets here have already been dropped and broken. Is going to get down here rather quickly for the second down of the game. But meanwhile, Desperate also manages to pop the first gen of the game. So still, everything possible. Focus still needs to get at least 4 more hooks. Or 3 more, with all of them being fresh, to get the tie. If they get the tie, they would have to replay this match. Kinda hope that doesn't happen, because I would like to go sleep as well. I'm a bit tired today, I did not sleep well today, I'm sorry. Casting quality is suffering a little bit from it. Yeah. But Focus here is just in a really good position. 2 people injured, 1 person on the hook. Is going to almost get the hit on Romeo here. Is going to try to get the shred of Romeo vaulting the window. Is unfortunately not able to get it. Wayne is going to take it down for Romeo here, which might be a bad decision actually at this point in time. I guess they want to avoid the fresh hook. I guess they're aiming for to get the 5-stage goal, not the 6-stage goal. You see another hook happening here. Another gen popping here. Good. It is still, honestly, anyone's game. It can still, either side can still win this, which is more exciting to watch, honestly. Oh. We are going to see, however, here though, Focus just has to drop the pallet. Is not able to make the Window Vault, has to run through it. Is going to get down here, I believe. Yes, Romeo does take it down here. Is going to be the 4th hook of the game, which I believe is also a fresh hook. Desperate here just being in an incredibly difficult situation. They kinda need to heal up, but they are also very desperate for a gen pressure. Gift of Pain just doing a lot here. While they can heal up, Gift of Pain slows it down while also reducing their gen pressure, but both because they need to heal and because Wayne almost gets down here again, which would have been a kill. Nothing Tamashi can, nothing Desperate can do to stop it, because they have a Mori that they don't want to use. Oh, they remembered that they have a Mori. Messed up the Mori. Wasting quite a bit of time there for not going for the instant Mori. Is however going to get the kill here. Is now at 4 stages. All they need to do is get 2 more hooks. Maybe even just get 1 more hook and just camp it out if it's in a good position. Meanwhile, Desperate still has to finish 2 more gens. Very, very difficult position to be in here. It's 5 stages. Actually, no, not 2 more hooks. There just needs to be a single more hook. Desperate here needs to somehow manage to get every single survivor here out with no more hook happening, which is going to be incredibly difficult, especially because Romeo is in a bad spot here, is going to get down here, is going to get hooked here unless there's any kind of save happening. No, there isn't. Focus is going to get the 6th hook of the game, which is the win con. Meaning Tamashi wins today's best of 4 and wins the first match of the Fearless League. Watching for Desperate, but oh well. We can clearly here now see already some of the impact that the Fearless League rule set has, the Fearless rule set. You need to be just incredibly careful with what kind of perks you bring. Like Focus manages to, like, a big part of why Focus managed to get a good result here is the fact that Scourge, Gift of Pain, put a good amount of pressure on the survivors because they just couldn't heal. Like, the survivors were very desperate for being able to do the gens, but if they heal, they are not doing gens while they're healing, obviously, and afterwards they're going to be doing the gens slower. So just very difficult to play against a perk in this kind of situation when a killer, like, once the killer has a little bit of pressure, Gift of Pain does a lot. We see another hook happening here on the Ace, on Looney, for 7th hook of the game. I don't know why I keep saying that. I always like saying 7th hook of the game, 8th hook of the game, and so on, and so on. Which also is the 4th fresh hook, meaning Grim Embrace is currently blocking all the generators. Desperate can't really do much about it. They still have to finish another generator, but they're just all blocked. I guess they need to take this time to heal up. They do not have much of a different choice. Rainfall is going to try their best to delay it down as much as possible. Going to the edge. Is not able to do much about it though. Is going to get down. Unfortunately, I'm not worried because there's still 2nd hook. We do see that another gen has popped though. It was very close to being done, so the Grim Embrace just couldn't stop it. The survivors have finished all the gens. Unfortunately, too late, as I said earlier already. But they are honestly doing quite well, considering the fact that the first down happened really quickly, considering the fact that Gift of Pain just put on so much pressure on them, considering the fact that Grim Embrace got to full 4 stacks before all the gens popped. Just honestly quite insane. Looney here just wants to get the killer's attention, just wants that last chase of the game. I believe they are not able to vault the window though. I believe they are going to get down on the shack part now. No. The shred does miss, the window does unblock. Looney does not take it now. Looney does take it now though, is going to get down, is going to get hooked. This is going to be a 2k10 I believe. The survivor should be on the gate by now. I don't think Focus can get anything more than this. I have a quick check. Yes, they are in fact on the gate. But I have actually not opened it yet. But there is just no portal close enough to that gate. I don't think Focus can make it there before it opens. No, they are going to the wrong gate as well. Romeo is maybe going for the unhook now actually. They can afford to do it. They still have the shack pellet after all. They can just drop the shack pellet and get quite a bit of value out of that. Will they do it? We will see. Yes, they have in fact gone for the unhook. Maybe actually getting a better result than they should have in that situation. Focus has messed up a little bit here. Is going to find Romeo, however. Going to try to down them. However, misses their shred. Or hit them. Misses their shred. Is going to go for Looney instead. Romeo is not around to take the hit for it. This is the wrong gate. This gate is still closed. Oh. Rainfall actually did decide to get on the gate, trying to help Looney to open it. Looney, however, was, I guess, a bit too greedy, decided to not drop the pellet, meaning Rainfall did not have enough time to actually open it, and is going to get down and kill that. Weeping Wounds. It's Gift of Pain. This did end up being the 2k10 for Tamashi here. Meaning, I mean, as I said earlier, they only needed the 6 stages. This is the win for Tamashi, 3-1. Meaning, they have now a decent sizable lead in their current group. Which is good to see, because I'm pretty sure they're in the same group as Zaka and Sir Pickle. This was the first match of the Fearless League. If you haven't yet, you can join the Discord. It is findable if you scroll down. There is a link for it. The bot should have also posted links for it throughout the stream and just, I guess, did not. So that's great. But if you scroll down, there should be a banner representing the Fearless League. If you click on that, you can get to the Fearless Discord and then see all the future matches planned. The next match will be on Wednesday. It will be Wisteria versus Apoptosis. It will be Huntress, Nemesis, Knight, and Skull Merchant. All four actually quite unusual sets for competitive. Like, these are all killers I very rarely see, especially Knight and Skull Merchant. Jesus Christ. That will be very interesting to see. For now, thank you very much for watching. And hopefully see you on Wednesday. I will start a raid once the 3-minute delay is over. If I can't see anybody that's online, I will have to check. Thank you very much for watching, though. And see you on Wednesday, hopefully. Zaka is online. We will wait Zaka. Sure, why not? Because Zaka is participating. See ya in that time.